Kevin Green, senior markets correspondent here. Kev, we're talking more earnings in the tech side. Marvell had a pretty good run up until that last earnings report. It dropped 11% after that, after giving a little bit weaker than expected guidance, but still up 28, 27% so far this year going into results.
Yeah, definitely. And we are kind of at a decision point here for the stock as you kind of look at the chart on the 1-year chart here. Are we going to break to the upside and try to challenge the relative highs, or are we going to break to the downside here? And I think a lot of that's going to come from the commentary, especially around the artificial intelligence segment, which they do have some exposure to. But we are actually expecting a little bit of a deceleration in some of the other segments of their business. If you're looking at the enterprise networking group, or if you're looking at the carrier or even consumer, there is a little bit of a concern that maybe we do see a little bit more softness than what they had expected, which could also drive the stock to the downside here. Now, can we counterbalance that with the AI narrative? I think that's going to be the thing that the street is going to be focusing on. One other bright spot for this company is the automotive segment, which actually continues to see a fair amount of strength. It's a very small slice of their business, but they have been able to capture some decent market share there. So we are expecting around an 8%, 8.5% move to the upside or downside here for the stock. And if we are able to see a beat both on the top bottom line and hear some decent commentary and guidance, Tom, we may be able to see a little bit more of a breakout here, as once again we are kind of challenging some recent highs.
Kev, Marvell is a supplier of semiconductor-related technology. There's a lot of numbers and letters that I don't really know if they're good or bad, but they claim they're coming out of a down cycle. And with cloud infrastructure and AI and data center business, they think they're set up pretty well if the overall market starts to turn up. Am I reading that right? Don't ask me about the letters and the numbers, Kev. I don't know.
Yeah, what I would say is we probably will have a little bit of a mixed result here, and you can kind of see that by the cloud service providers themselves, right? We just saw, Snowflake kind of hearing some of their commentary, as well as some of the other cloud providers that are seeing a little bit of slowness when it comes to enterprise spend, and that could also create a little bit more of a backlog, if you will, when it comes to the data center chips and the data center infrastructure products that they need. But on the other side of that, once again, looking at the AI space, that could be the side of the business that is obviously going to see some outsized growth and demand there, and that could also counterbalance that. I would say also, Kev, when you're looking at the 5 nanometer and the 3 nanometer chips, those are something that is in popular demand right now, but we are once again kind of seeing every single month, for the most part, more advances in these type of products, and are they going to be able to keep up with that type of pace of growth? That's going to be the question mark. But once again, I think it's going to be a counterbalance. I would not expect an outsized move to the upside on data center or enterprise networking, but if they can talk up the AI space, I think that would be an ultimate win for them.
Yeah, they did state that they projected AI revenue, Kev, to be about 30% of its total revenue in fiscal year 2025. Is that going to be the key? Because data center is still growing, but is it going to be, they mentioned AI a few times, Kev, and this is off to the races?
I think that might be the case. I mean, they're kind of one of the last ones to really report. So we already see a lot of the price action being reflected in the stock. And so that opportunity and the growth rate on the AI business, once again, can overcompensate for maybe some weakness when you're looking at just the regular data centers, which we have seen a little bit of a deceleration there. And you can see that from a number of companies that have already reported. So we might have mixed results. I think the guidance is going to be key, but they might be able to benefit a little bit more than some others when it comes to the AI space. If they can definitely hype that up on the conference call, I think that would be a win for them.
All right, great stuff. Great backdrop for us here going into earnings. Appreciate it. That's Kevin Green, senior markets correspondent here.